Welcome to Build Your Dream Network. I'm Kelly Hoey. I see people struggling to connect effectively all the time, so I created this podcast to help you master your network building needs. Whether you're seeking a new job, looking for a promotion, or scaling your business, you need a network, and you're in the right place to get the advice you need. And don't worry, my advice is real. It's actionable and practical because it's the advice I follow and is what has transformed my career from the traditional to the unexpected. So let's get started. It's week 3 of building your dream network from home. How are you holding up? Are the systems in place, or are you having to navigate glitches, frictions in systems, imperfect processes? I ask because recognizing that we all have daily battles and hurdles of varying degrees of magnitude is really, really important right now. Yes, you need to put yourself first, and your self-care is essential, but not when it comes to connecting with others. Your self-care, and that may be getting a virtual coffee date back on the calendar. That self-care for you and your job search may be bumping up against another person's daily agony of trying to submit their children's homework online. If you keep asking for that date, that virtual coffee date, without acknowledging what is happening in the other person's life, you're creating friction and another inconvenience for them. Their self-care in that situation could end up being refusing to meet you if you keep that up. I want to note that there is no need to apologize for how you're feeling right now. I know people who are hustling and busier than ever, and others who are stuck. We all manage stress and anxiety differently. Acknowledge that and only apologize when you don't clue in that the other person doesn't handle the stress of a pandemic like you do. Now, I have some ideas again this week for building your network. Well, in real life networking, as we used to know it, is on pause. You can proceed with care to forge stronger relationships with those around you and make some new connections too. Here are some thoughts I've had as a result of telephone conversations, questions from podcast listeners, and my own daily online interactions. I want to start with requests for video chats. I've stressed the importance in the past of making eye contact and meeting in real life if you can, but hold off on suggesting a video session as the only way to talk to someone. One friend who works at a large bank is on back-to-back Zoom meetings all day, every day, Monday through Friday. Everyone in her company has switched to video. This leaves no time to get up out of a hard chair, move around, skip a shower, even grab a midday meal. Think about the burden a video meeting may have for the other person. If you're reaching out to say, I'd like to meet, can we have a video chat? Why don't you change that? Why don't you say, well, I'd appreciate a virtual face-to-face meeting. I realize this may not be your preference. Acknowledging that you're open to however the other person wants to connect may actually get your meeting on their calendar. Let's also talk about building community at work. With coworkers, the networking focus often seems to be on productivity and making the systems seamless for everyone logging into work portals from home. But have you put any thought into building community within your office? An absolutely delightful discovery this week was learning how Carrie Goldberg, a victims' rights attorney here in New York, is handling work from home and social distancing because of the COVID-19 crisis, how she's handling it for her law firm. I want to note I discovered what Carrie is doing because of a regular morning Twitter chat I have and started because of the pandemic. And on a particular day this past week, Carrie chimed in. Here's what I learned about what she's doing. Carrie is being very proactive about creating touch points with her team, emotional ones, productive, and fun ones too, because the type of work her firm does is really intense. and the work culture is highly collaborative. Connection for Carrie and her close team is a comfort. Throughout the Monday to Friday work week, they hold 2 firm meetings a day, both morning and night. The evening meeting is optional and is there only for those in her firm who feel they need to make the connection. Once a week, Carrie schedules a virtual lunch for her team with a friend who is a therapist, and the therapist takes the team through stress reducing and meditative exercises. On the fun side, Carrie's firm has hosted a staff video karaoke night, a surprise birthday party, a comedy night, and I just love this one idea of Carrie's. She hired a Broadway performer and vocal coach to create an online variety show for the firm's members and their families to watch live on a recent Sunday night. How absolutely wonderful is that? A special performance that lifted spirits and brought together the broader community of the firm as husbands, wives, kids, partners, parents got to see the firm where their loved one worked and perhaps gain further insight to why their loved one chose to work so hard beyond finding meaning in the work itself. As so much going on is outside of our ability to control, focus on what you can control. This may be my main message this week. What you can control, well, it could be how you ask for a meeting or introduction, or how you put the well-being of your team first, just like Carrie, or how you acknowledge how you are operating right now. You don't need to hustle or meditate or clean closets or revamp your LinkedIn profile just because someone else is. However, and you knew this was coming, you do need to nurture your relationships as much as you nurture your own needs. Keep a social distance, but keep socializing. And I'll see you again next week. Thank you for listening to Build Your Dream Network. Stay connected and don't miss a networking insight by subscribing to the podcast. And while you're there, I'd love you to rate and review the show too. Are you looking for more networking advice? Pick up a copy of my book, Build Your Dream Network. It's your guide to modern networking. I'd like to hear your networking questions, tips, and ideas. Connect with me via my website, jkellyhoey.co. You'll find links to all my social media accounts, plus a contact form to email me your questions. I'm Kelly Hoey, and I'll be back again next week to tackle your networking challenges.